Uh.
The coronavirus pandemic is beginning to reshape almost every aspect of our world, including education. With institutions closed for the foreseeable future, most of the schools and colleges have been turning to online classes to continue providing education. Many faculty members are already adjusting to the new format. A smoother transition to an online educational system, with optimum use of online technologies, will ultimately modernize our education system. This hands-on training program will guide you to make the best use of ICT tools for teaching and assessments.
Good morning to each one of you on behalf of KME Society's GM Mom in Women's College, Bhiwandi, to this two-day national level program titled Hands-on Training Program in ICT Tools for Teaching and Learning Assessment. This program is being organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of our college. I hope and pray that you are all fine and safe with good health. We will start today's program with the national anthem. I request all of you to please stand up for the national anthem. I request the technical team to play the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Has been institutionalized education. Education institutes have been closed for months to avoid the spread of the virus. As a consequence, students have been suffering the most. The pandemic has forced us to set up a new normal for all of us, and so the same is being done in the field of education. Classes are going online. Government of India is also emphasizing and supporting on the same. Online teaching has become a new norm today, and we are going to see more blended learning in the future. The prime focus of this program is to train all the stakeholders, the teachers, and the students with the various ICT tools for teaching and assessment. As the author and educator George Couros has said, technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers is transformational. With that note, requesting our IC principal, Dr. Nahid Azam, to give the welcome note.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nandita Singh. A very good morning to all. Firstly, I would like to congratulate and wish all the best to our IQAC and technical team at GM Women Women's College for organizing this national level 2-day training program. We have an incredibly talented and hardworking team here, and I sincerely appreciate all the effort put in to make this training possible. A big thank to our wonderful resource person today, Dr. Augustine Arul Prasad, who is joining us online all the way from Chennai to share his knowledge and expertise and guide us through the various ICT tools in detail. On behalf of our institution, I extend a warm welcome to all our participants, their principals, their vice principals, head of the departments, teachers, and even some students who are part of this training program. I hope you all are doing well and staying safe. Around the start of this year, we saw a massive lifetime shift across the globe due to the pandemic. Everything became remote, from grocery and medicines to even fruit and vegetable have had to be ordered online. Movies moved from big screen to video streaming devices. Conversations became digital. Work from home became a new norm. But more importantly, for us as teachers and educators, classes and teaching went from physical to digital. The pandemic has made us rethink our teaching perspective and in a very short time brought up new learning system for all. Most colleges have already started with online teaching and we are all geared up for the new academic year. As a teacher myself, I can understand how overwhelming these new systems can be. Every teacher is struggling or trying their best to accustom themselves to the new form of pedagogy so that our students don't have to suffer. But teaching is an ever growing profession, one where we are always learning and unlearning, as I firmly believe a teacher should always be a good learner. The intent of this program is to equip everyone participating with relevant knowledge, skills, and ability to start the new academic year in full swing. I'm hoping all our participants will be able to upskill their knowledge from this 2-day program. Some of you are maybe already familiar with these tools, so I'm hoping this program will help you brush up your knowledge and aid as a practice. I encourage all participants to ask questions, clarify their doubts, and engage actively in this training program. Thank you and welcome once again. All the best.
IQAC body of GM Mormon College has been a key contributor in bringing about change in the way we teach and the way we learn. And now they are here to support us all to adapt to new normal of education through this program. Now I call upon our IQAC coordinator, Mrs. Jayashree Thakre Madam, for the introductory note on the importance of today's program and also to introduce the resource person, Dr. Augustine Arul Prasad, IQAC coordinator, DGVC College, Chennai.
Good morning. On behalf of IQAC team of GM Women Women's College, I, Mrs. Jayashree Thakre, welcome you all for today's training program. As we all know, the higher education system is facing tough challenges from last 5 months due to COVID-19 pandemic situation. We should feel proud on NAC, a visionary body which has come out with new guidelines in 2017. It has brought new spirit in the process of assessment and accreditation. The process itself is ICT enabled and user friendly. Promoting use of technology is important core value of NAC. All institutes have started working on digital resources for learning so that learning becomes more individualized, creative, and dynamic. The need to expand the system of higher education and the impact of technology demands changes in Indian higher education system. Institutions to initiate modern methods of pedagogy, to enrich teaching learning process, teachers' familiarity with LMS and other resources, and how to meaningfully incorporate them is important. We all, as teachers, take initiative to learn latest development, to innovate, and strive for individual and institutional excellence. To use blended teaching learning process, the incorporation of ICT tools in it is very essential. Hence, we have planned for hands-on training of ICT tools and elements. For this, we have invited a resource person having very much expertise in this area, Dr. Augustine Arul Prasad, IQAC coordinator of DGBC College, Chennai, who has 13 years of teaching experience. He obtained PhD degree from University of Madras in 2008, guided one MPhil students. 4 students are pursuing for PhD. His research area is green chemistry. He has 20 papers and 2 books to his credit and has presented 17 papers. He has organized many workshops and national level seminars. He has also worked as content developer for Cyber School Technology Solutions Chennai. He has profound expertise in Google Classroom, Moodle, OBS, OER, IPR, and content developing. I gladly welcome Dr. Augustine Arul Prasad sir in this national level training program. Hope all of you will be benefited by the training program. Thank you very much, and over to Dr. Augustine Arul Prasad sir.
Of Google Classroom, and what are the advantages of using a Google Classroom, and what are the various methods by which you can do your synchronous and asynchronous teaching. And so I would request all the participants to work with me simultaneously. I will give you time, so mere listening with me will not help you anymore. So kindly work with me simultaneously. You can open up your laptops, you can open up your desktop, or if you want to make a note of it, you can take your notebooks and you can make a note of what I tell. Okay, so first I will move on to my the creation of my class. Now, if you want to create a Google Classroom, I hope all of you are very familiar with Google Classroom, and therefore creating a Google Classroom will not be a problem. But even then, if you are new to this platform, just go to Google Chrome and just click this icon, and you can see your Google Classroom will be here. Click that Google Classroom, you will end up with a page like this. If you do not have any classroom, this page will be empty. Just click this. If you want to create a class, just click create a class. Once you click this, you will end up with a class like this. And once you have your class, you can type down the name for your class. I have written it as GMMWC, the name of the college. So it is, so the section is ICT workshop, and the subject is Blended Classroom. Just click save. So when you click save, it will be saved like this. So our classroom is ready. Have you done this? Have you created your class? Or if you have an already created class, it's fine. done, what you need to do is just go inside your class. Okay, just go inside your class and go to classwork. Now before that, what you need to do is, once you are inside your class, see, when you use your G Suite account, a G Suite account comes with your institutional ID. See, I am using my G Suite account. You can see here, this is my G Suite account. So I am inside my G Suite account. So in a G Suite account, you will have a Google Meet integrated with it. So you can directly see, the Google has made both synchronous and asynchronous learning possible in Google Classroom. If you want to meet your students immediately, I will just simply click OK. Okay, so I will simply click this and I will go live with my students. Okay, so that can happen in my Google Classroom with a G Suite account. And once you are inside your Google Classroom, click this gear icon and go inside this gear icon. Now you can see here, in your gear icon, you can see the class code available. You can copy this class code and you can post it in your chat or somewhere where the student can join. Okay, and in your stream, make it as the students can post and comment. Classwork on the stream, okay, make it as condensed notification, and don't enable this, because if you are deleting something and if you have made some mistake, it will be visible to your students. So you can just switch it off, and you can generate the Meet link immediately. And after that, what you need to do is just come over here. This is very important in a Google Classroom, where you need to create a grading system for your students. Now in your grading system, if you have not created one, please create one right now. And first, what you do, go to grading system, make it as total points, and after that enable this, which shows the overall grade to students, and your grade categories will be empty here. In this area, you click add category like this. So if you click add category, this area will appear, and say for example, our predominant grades will be based on our assignments to our students, quiz to our students, and also attendance. These are the three major areas of internal assessment marks, IAM. Therefore, say for example, in my college, we have 40 marks as internal assessments, where we will provide 15 marks for the assignments, 20 marks for the internal assessment test. So I have made it as quiz, or even I can change it as IA, internal assessment examination, or internal assessment test. And we provide 5 marks for attendance. So totally it comes to 40. So please do this. I hope all of you are doing it. Please complete this grade category, select this grade category. If you have not created this grade category, please do it. I will repeat it once again from the beginning. After filling up all the class details, don't worry about this class description and all. You can just add, if you're taking, say for example, if you're doing for MSc, you can put it as MSc, or BA, if you can put it as BA, and BA literature or BA economics, something like that. And make all these changes. Make it as students can post and comment, and put it as show condensed notification, and then make it as overall grade calculation into total points. Then create your grade categories where you will have assignments, then your quiz or internal assessment examination, then put it as attendance, and finally don't forget to save. Okay, so I have created my grades. Now first thing that you need to do is create all the topics. See, you can see all the topics here. I will tell you what is the advantage of creating this topic. First, create all the topics. I hope all of you are working. Okay, you can just make a note of it. You can take a screenshot if you're using a mobile phone or laptop or your desktop. Just take a screenshot. you have to click your Windows button on your left bottom and print screen option. So just click the Windows button on next to the control button. There will be a window button, and at the top you will have a print screen option. You have to simultaneously press both like this. Okay, so I've taken a screenshot. Now this is my live classroom, and I'm posting materials every day to my students. Now once you have created this classroom, that is, you have created your topic, the advantage of one of the advantage in Google Classroom is you can just pull this down and you can put it anywhere. See here, and it is auto saved. You don't have to save anything in Google Classroom. Everything is auto saved, and I will pull this and put it here. Okay, so in this particular classroom, I have announcement, I have a discussion forum, I have the name of the course. Sorry, I have the name of the course written here. Okay, so I have the name, and I also have references. Let me add one more topic. Okay, so I've added assignment. Let me add one more topic, quiz. Let me add one more topic, OER, Open Educational Resources. And let me bring my announcements to the top, because announcement is where I announce everything to my students regarding my class, regarding my course, regarding my assignment. Okay, and this OER and quiz should go to the bottom. Before references, I think we can put this OER. Okay, and your assignment and quiz should come after your blended classroom. Now you can see we have announcements, we have a discussion forum, we have our that is the course, we have assignment, we have quiz, we have OER, we have reference, and we can also add one more topic. Okay, so let me add a topic called study material, where you can provide your students the requisite material for your course. Okay, I will put this study material here, because only after, see here, the students, you can post your, what do you call, you can post your syllabus and other relevant materials that is required. Okay, you can see here. Can you see here? I have posted here. Is it clear? Okay, so these are some of the materials which I have posted here for what do you call, under my classroom. Okay, and we can even pull out these materials and we can put it here in the study material. So that is one thing. And I've been talking about material. What is this material? Okay, how to create a material. Now, if you want to create a material in a Google Classroom, creating a material is very, very simple and very easy. The first thing is, what you need to do is you have to first type a title. Okay, let me give the title as Blended Classroom. So right now we are learning how to create a material. Okay, learn about the importance of blended classroom. Learn about the importance of blended classroom. Okay, now what you need to do is you have to add. You can add a material from your Google Drive if you have a readily available material. Okay, let's say for example I want to okay, I will just click this material which is there in my Google Drive. Okay, so I have added a material from my Google Drive. You can even provide a link. Now, what link can be provided? Any link under the earth in the Google can be provided. Okay, now this is our YouTube channel created for our educational purpose. You can see, you can have a lot of information in this YouTube channel. The name of the channel is INFOWLEDGE. It's Infoledge. It is a trademark it has been registered under trademark. Okay, so this is our channel, and here you can have a lot of videos about your ICT related issues. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just type Infoledge. I will be sharing this link at the end of this session. So I've posted a lot of material under ICT. Okay, let me take this as hello everyone, welcome. So I will share this. What you need to do is go to that YouTube material which you want to share, or any web resource material you want to share. Just copy it. Okay, go back to your Google Classroom. So just paste the link. Your link is ready. So I have created a material from my drive. I had created a material using a link. Now let me add a material from my file. Okay, you can again use any material that is required. Okay, I will just add this, and you can even directly add YouTube videos. You can search for URLs. Okay, so YouTube videos can be added using this site, and as far as this file is this link is concerned, let me take you to one more. So this is our website called Infoledge. So this is our website called Infoledge. It is this website gives you all the details about the courses that is happening, as all these courses are free courses which we are doing it for the underprivileged students, and everything is free of cost. So I will share this link. So you have to simply copy this link, go to your Google Classroom, paste this link, and you can see your link is added. So what I have done is I have added material using my Google Drive. I've added material using my link. I've added a file. I've also inserted a video from YouTube. So all these things can happen, and it can go as a material. Let me say I want to add a doc. Okay, so if I click a doc, and you want to immediately provide a material for your students. So if you want to do it, say in 5 minutes, what you have to do, you have to go to this doc, and in your doc, you can see there is a provision called voice typing. Okay, so in this voice typing tool, you can simply talk and your Google will type. Okay, let me do this. Dear participants, I welcome you all for this 2-day hands-on training workshop on ICT enabled teaching learning process. I'm really excited to meet you all in this workshop. Now I will move on to the next part of how to take attendance. Okay, so how to take attendance. Hello everyone, in Google Classroom. Now please watch this video of how to take attendance, and when I do this, you can simultaneously work along in your Google Classroom. Okay, please go through this video. This is Dr. T. Agustin Prasad, and you're going to see a few tips to record your attendance in Google Classroom. Welcome back. Now we all have a little problem in taking attendance while using our Google Classroom, because Google Classroom does not provide us any platform to record the attendance. In order to make the recording, especially when we post a material in Google Classroom, and we need to ensure that our students visit our Google Classroom and mark the attendance. So I'm going to follow a small procedure, or I would call it as a tip, where I would ensure my students visit my Google Classroom and view my material posted and also mark the attendance. See, as far as Google Classroom is concerned, if we post a material in Google Classroom, we may not know whether our student has really seen that material or not. And we have all the provision to take attendance in Google Meet. but there is no provision to do that in Google Classroom. Whereas in other LMS like Moodle and various in Schoology, etc., there is a provision that we can get the logs of what is happening in our Google in our LMS. But as far as what do you call the Google Classroom is concerned, this is a real big problem, and we can take attendance. Let us see how to do it. Here we go. This is how we're going to do it. So I'm going to my classroom. So now I go to this particular classroom. I go to classwork, and under classwork, I use create. Now, when I use create, when I click create, you can create a question. Now, the question is, type it as. You can do it simultaneously. Dear participants, please do it simultaneously with me. 11, 20. Question is, are you available? Are you available? 11, 20 at, let me say, 5 p.m. And you make the question as multiple choice and you create the answer as yes, I am available. No, I am not available. And we'll discuss with you in person. Okay, so these are the three options which we could give, and you can mark if you have given any specific points for your attendance. You can mark it as attendance, and you have to select the due date. The due date is 11th, and the time is let me put it as 17:10 p.m. So the time is 5:10 p.m. and you have to post this under the topic attendance. So you need to create a topic called attendance, and this will stop taking the attendance or accepting responses after 5:10 p.m. So your student has to enter your Google Classroom, and he or she has to fill this attendance. Dear participants, the YouTube live streaming is working right now. So if you are comfortable with YouTube live, you can go there. You can send it to your students. Okay. So I've sent it to my students. So I have an attendance sent to my students at 5:10 p.m. Now I will enter this. See, you can see I am a student in this class. So you can see I have a message in my Google Classroom stating that it is due today. So I'll go to the classwork. So in my classwork, I see I have an attendance here. So I am, as a student, I will enter my Google Classroom. Say right now in my Google Classroom, I will click I am available, and I will turn. Now if I'm not available, so I will click I am not available, and therefore I am ensuring that I'm not inside the Google Classroom after I complete the sentence and I'm going out. But when I say I am available, I'm ensuring that I am inside your Google Classroom and I'm going to see, look after whatever you're going to update in the Google Classroom or all the activities that you're going to post in the Google Classroom. You can do this repeatedly even after 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and you can check, you can verify whether your students are available inside the Google Classroom or not. As a student, after creating the attendance or after checking the attendance or after marking the attendance, I will put it as turn in. So once I turn in, okay, I will go to my classwork. You can see here. Okay. So now I am marked by attendance. So as a teacher, I'm inside my classroom and I will check who has turned in. So I can see here that one particular student has turned in, and therefore I will give them the full 5 points to that student, and I can even return it so that I will get an email notification that my attendance has recorded. Now, what we can do is, after you record, see, if you have say 25 students or 50 students in your class, you will have all the student attendance over here. And once all the students have given their attendance, okay, so you can download. You can see, you can download this particular attendance, okay, by clicking the gear icon, and you can record that Excel file as today's attendance. Okay. So you can see here my name, the student name has been it's there, and you can see you are given 5 points for the student, which means the student is present. And even you can, if you want, you can add a comment as being present. And you can see it is the attendance for 11/8/2020. Even you can add your time tag. Okay. So this is how you can mark your attendance by asking a simple question inside your Google Classroom. On the other hand, you can also add your attendance. Okay. You can go to create. Now you can add, say, you can put it as an assignment. So attendance. Kindly fill the Google form. Kindly fill the Google form for marking your attendance. So you can create a Google form for the students and enable them to mark their attendance, for marking your attendance. So you can have a Google form. Okay, so you can mark. You can add up this Google form. So kindly fill the Google form for marking. So this is again attendance for 11/08/2020, and you create a form. Create a Google form. Now this can be done either by creating an assignment, or this can be done even as a question assignment. And you can ask the student name. Okay, so it will be a short answer. Make it as required. Then you can ask for the roll number, and you can make it as a short answer. So you don't have to do a response validation. Then you can even ask for a file upload. Okay. Now in the file upload, you can ask upload a screenshot. Upload a screenshot of your mobile or laptop with upload a screenshot of your Google Classroom. Okay, let me put it as Google Classroom. Upload a screenshot of a Google Classroom from your mobile or laptop with time and date clearly visible. So we can enable the students. We can add. Let us not put any specific files, but let us say we can add an image. Okay, so image or a PDF file can be added. So only one file can be added, and let us make it as a required. So once we complete this, okay, we can. Once we complete this, so attendance for 11/08/2020. So once we complete this, now you can see here, we can add. So once we complete, so this is the attendance form that we have created. So it is available here, and you can, as usual, you can give points for it, and the due date will be again it's 11. That is today, and topic has to be attendance, and we can also give a time for it. So we can put it as 0, 5, so 20. Okay, so 5:20 p.m. and that's it. So once we try to assign this, so it has been assigned. Okay, so we can actually put this under attendance. So it is there under attendance. So now I have an attendance due. So I will go back to my classwork. I will refresh it. So I'm inside my student. So I'm inside my student Google Classroom. Now I see a Google form here. So sorry, I think I have to give access here because I'm doing it with a G Suite ID. So I'll go to settings, collect email address, edit after submit, limit to one response, and I save it. So now I come back, I go to attendance. Now I have my Google Classroom. So as a student, I'm entering all the details. So let me put as 1, and let me go to my Google Classroom. So let me say this is my Google Classroom as a student. I will take a screenshot of it. So I'm taking a screenshot of it. Now I go to my select file from my device. I go to pictures. I go to screenshot. So I have taken a screenshot. You can see. So I will upload this file. So once I upload this file, then I will submit. Yes, so I have submitted as a student. Now I'll go to as a teacher. I will check whether anybody has turned in. Okay. Yes. Now you can see that one student has turned in. So I will go there and I can see the form. So in my Google Forms, you can see there is a response and you can also see the picture. So you can see this is the final output. So this is how you will see the picture, or each student can upload a picture and you can mark individually that each student is there, and you can ensure that your student have visited your Google Classroom. So this Google Form attendance is another way by which you can generate attendance in Google Classroom. So my dear teachers, you can either follow a question type where you can add a question, or you can add an assignment or a quiz assignment wherein you can create a Google form and you can collect the screenshots of their mobile or laptops, and you can generate the attendance in Google Classroom. Thank you for watching. God bless. So welcome back. So that's a bit long video, but I hope all of you enjoyed it, and it's available in YouTube. So you can always go back, and if you have any doubts, you can watch this video again. And so after taking the attendance, okay, now I have say for example, I want to add something directly from my web page to my Google Classroom, right? Let me say I want to add this page, Wikipedia, to my Google Classroom. So what I will do, see, there are a lot of Chrome extensions available. There are a lot of Chrome extensions available in Chrome Store. So what you need to do is go to Chrome Store, okay, and inside the Chrome Web Store, you can type it as Share to Classroom. Okay, so if you type share to classroom, you will get a Chrome extension called share to classroom or push to classroom. Okay, so you can install it or you can add to the Chrome this share to classroom. And what is the advantage of this share to classroom? You can see, and this share to classroom is actually is going to be disabled. You can directly push any material to share to classroom, and or if you can directly put this page inside your share to classroom in one shot. So that is the advantage of this particular page. So either you can install share to classroom, since it is going to be removed. So you can see here, see, you can see all my classrooms are here. Say for example, I want to push this to okay, let me say I want to push this to my okay, okay, this particular classroom. See, you can either push to teacher or you can push to student. So this particular page will be sent there. Okay, I will just show you where it has gone. um, okay. Okay, there is a small sign-in issues which is happening. Okay, once you push it, it will be available in your classroom. You can check for it. Okay, so any web page can be directly pushed to your Google Classroom by using this particular okay, by using this option called share to classroom or push to classroom. Okay, so the next is the next Google Chrome extension is insert learning. Now again, this insert learning will give you a lot of provision to add anything here. Say for example something like this. Okay, so this tool will help you when you do your online classes, or when you want to take an online class, and when you're sharing a web page like this tool will be of great help. Okay, and you can even insert a sticky note. Okay, sorry. Okay, see here, so you can ask your students, uh, kindly prepare an assignment on this paragraph. Okay, okay, so you can see there is a sticky note available. If you want, you can even insert a video here. Okay, since I'm using my camera in my Google Meet, my camera is not available. So immediately you can talk and you can insert a video here to your students if you want to give any instruction. Okay, so that is the advantage of this insert learning. So in a single web page on a screen, you can do so many things with your students. This can see, you can, the other thing is you can do all these things, and you can record everything using your recording software. See, I have a recording software here. Okay, and if I click start recording, so it is recording everything right now, and whatever I do in the screen, it is getting recorded. If I want to add a video message to my students, Yes, I am adding a video message to my students. I stop it. Okay. Okay. And you can do anything like that. And you can even insert a discussion. See, you can create a discussion. So you can do everything in a live way. If you want to do all these things, you can do everything here under this. So say for example, I am discussing this particular paragraph with my students in Wikipedia, and I want to highlight it. So I will highlight it, and after I highlight it, I will put a sticky note. Okay. So I will put a sticky note, and I can also start a discussion. So I will also start a discussion. Okay. So anything can be done. Like if you want to make your class more interactive, you can use this Chrome Store tool called Insert Learning. Okay. So there are two tools that are available. One is Insert Learning. The other one is Share to Classroom. Now, when you post an assignment to your students in the Google Classroom, say for example, I want to now let me say I want to post an assignment here in this particular class. So I will go to create. I will create assignment title, assignment 1, instruction, create a blended classroom video and upload it. Okay. And the due date is 14/08/2020. Now you can simply put this as assignment, or if you want to give any tips to your students, you can create a doc and you can type what are the questions. If you want to give any assignment questions, you can always insert a doc. Now, what is the advantage of using a doc when compared to your Microsoft Word? In a doc, you can correct the mistakes in a doc online, because a doc is always available in our Google Drive and it is online. Therefore, at any time you can add something to your doc or correct it, because once you create a Microsoft Word, it is not possible for you to do all these things. So my dear teachers, I will encourage all of you to start using docs, slides, sheets, etc. In your day-to-day activity and class, so that you can do all the corrections and all the modifications simultaneously. Now I need to create a grade category. The grade category becomes assignment. Now you can see as soon as I click assignment, you can see the points changes to 15. So since we have already assigned 15 points for assignments, and let me give a date. So the date is 14th August. Okay, or let me put it as 15th August. Okay, so 15th August. Jai Shri ma'am, please note down this assignment. So all the participants should create their blended classroom by 15th August. Otherwise,
Okay.
otherwise certificates will not be issued.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, so create a blended classroom video and upload it, and the due date is 15th August, and you have to put it under the topic assignment. And now I'm going into a very important area called rubric. Okay, so when I do this assignment, now, okay, let me do this. Now I have created a document. I will tell you what is this doc to form. Okay, in a short while. Now this doc to form is a tool. You can go to doc, and you click add-on, go to get add-ons. Once you are inside get add-on, you can type doc to form, and once you are inside doc to form, click it. I already have it in my Google Doc. So in your case, it will ask you to install. So please install it. And once you install it, it's so simple. Okay. What is the advantage of using this tool is, this add-on is, I can create a question. I can create a form, Google form from my Google Doc. Okay. Say for example, you want to ask, you want to give an immediate quiz after your class. Say your class is for 1 hour, and at 45 minutes you stop your class and you say your students, dear students, in another 5 minutes I will send you a quiz. So please answer this quiz. Now in that situation, or for every class you can do this. What you need to do is you need to go to this doc, get this add-on, click doc to form, click create form from doc. Once you have done this, you can go to tools, go to voice typing, and you can start typing. What is the capital of India? Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore. Now, like this, whatever question you want, you can type it. So ensure that you do it with all the necessary grammar. And after typing these questions, you go to this form, collect username, ask for name, just copy, paste the type of question. If you want to have a multiple choice, you can put a multiple choice. Okay. Now take this, copy it here, add options with semicolons. So don't forget to do that. After Delhi, you put a semicolon. After Mumbai, you put a semicolon. After Chennai, you put a semicolon. And after Bangalore, you don't have to put anything. So I have spoke the question. So like this, you can just type all your questions. You can just speak. Okay, if you have any question bank with you, or if you have any ready-made books with you, from where you can just copy down the questions, you can simply talk all the questions, and all your questions will be ready. Then copy paste, and then if you want to add a question, you can add a question. Okay, so that is not a problem. Once you are done with all the question, just click create form. So your form is ready, your question is ready. See, you can see here. In no time, you can create your Google form with questions. And you can see it has a name. If you want to add a roll number, you can always add a roll number. If you want to add an email ID, okay, you can add an email ID. Okay. So this is a very simple way by which you can prepare a Google form, and immediately you can send it to your Google Classroom. You can share the link with them. You can shorten the URL. You can copy it. Go to Google Classroom, whichever classroom you want. Okay. You can always share. Now, once your thing is ready, your Google form is ready. Okay. Now you can see here, I have my document. Now, after creating the assignment, don't forget to make a copy for each student, so that each student will receive an individual copy of this document. Whenever you create an assignment, don't forget to mark it as make a copy for each student, so that each student will get a copy of your assignment. Now the assignment is create a blended classroom video and upload it, and the due date is 15/8. And I have created this. Now I'm going to add a rubric. Now, what is a rubric? A rubric is a set of criteria based on which your assignment will be graded. I repeat, a rubric is a set of criteria based on which the assignments of the students are graded. Now, how to create a rubric? Creating a rubric is very simple. You can see here. Go to click this rubric. Okay. Now, since it is an assignment, you have to you have to ensure that your total point is only 15. That your total point is only 15. So now you can see, I will share this with you later. This is what we need to prepare as a rubric. So this is what I call it as a rubric. You can see here. Okay, so you can see here, this is my rubric. Now in my rubric, I have a criteria content. Okay, so first I will copy this content. You can take a screenshot of it if you want. I will go to my class. Okay, so criteria title is content. Let us not worry about this criteria description. Let us say the content quality. The content quality. Let us simply put it as the quality of the content. Let me put it as the quality of the content. Okay, and let me put it as 5 points. And again, the level title is content, and under description, let me put it as okay. So this is the description. Okay, and the level title I will put it as superior. Okay, superior. Okay, so I will award 5 points to my student if I find the content is superior. And what is meant by superior? The assignment demonstrated thorough knowledge and applicability of fact, terms, and concepts. So this is what I call it as my first rubric. So I will give a criterion title. I will give a criterion description. I will put it as 5 points. I will call this as superior, and I will insert the description. Next, I will add a level. In this level, let me give it as 3. So you can see here under 3, it is called satisfactory. So the level title is satisfactory. And what is the description? The description says that the assignment demonstrates moderate knowledge and applicability of facts, terms, and concepts. Then I go to my last. I will add one more. I will paste the description, and in the points I will give it as 1 point, and in the level title is needs improvement. Okay, so I will put it as needs improvement. So I have created my first rubric like this. See, the total point for assignment is 15. So I have created the rubric for only one criteria, which I call it as content. Okay, like this, I can add another criteria. So my next criteria will be knowledge and understanding. So my next criteria is knowledge and understanding. The criteria description also, you can give some description, and I will make it as 5 points. Okay, the level title is same superior, and the assignment demonstrates thorough knowledge. I will put the description here. I will click the next one. I will go to 3. I will mark it as 3 points. I will mark it as moderate. I will go to the next one. I will put it as 1 point, and I will copy this down. I will give the description as needs improvement. So my second criteria is done. You can see my total points has increased to 10, from 5 to 10. Now I will add one more criteria, and this is my last criteria. And my last criteria is application of mind. Okay, and again here the first is 5 points, and the criteria says the student has actively participated in all the discussion and was able to give a convincing reply to the questions with the application of mind. Okay, so, and this is superior. Again, I will add, this becomes 3. The level title is moderate, and I will copy this. I will paste it. Then I will add one. The level title is needs improvement, and the rubric says, okay. Now you can see I have done 15 points. So my rubric is ready. Once my rubric is ready, I will again repeat. Once you click your rubric, you have to add the first criterion. Under each criterion, you can award points according to you, but you have to give the maximum points here. Then you have to go in a descending order. Then you have to give a criterion. Now all these rubrics will be visible to your students. See, you can see here this rubric. Once you post this assignment to your student will be able to see this rubric, this criteria, based on which he or she will prepare the assignment to score all the 15 points. Otherwise your student will be clueless how my ma'am is going to what do you call evaluate my assignment. Okay, so we have to give an idea about our evaluating tool to our students, so that our students will learn, or our students will have the knowledge of how to work on the assignment. And if you can, okay, see, so there are, it says that 3 assignments with originality reports. So let us not worry about this plagiarism, because it says only 3 assignments. Now everything is set. I've given the assignment, I've mentioned the date, and I've put it under grade category, and I've given the points, I've given the time, date, everything, and it will be posted under my topic assignment. And now I will assign. Okay, so you can see here, you can see under the assignment, I have my assignment. So create a blended classroom video and upload it, and the due date is 15/8. And if the student clicks this, he or she will see this. So once the student sees this, and they will know, okay, so I have to do it in a better way. So I have to apply the facts, and I have to apply, I have to demonstrate my knowledge, and I should participate in all the discussion. So all these things the students will know, and they will have a better idea, or they will use their mind, they will apply their mind in creating the assignment. Is it clear? Now, this is another add-on which I wanted to introduce to you. This add-on is called Gradebook. Please make a note of it. Since we will not have much time to discuss about this, you can just add this add-on to your Google Sheet, and this add-on will help you to create and view your grades. You can import your grades from Google Classroom. Okay, so in your Gradebook, you can import everything from your Google Classroom. See, I have imported all my grades. Okay, so you can do it anywhere. So that is another important aspect of this Google Classroom. So let me add attendance. Okay, so it has actually it is a free trial which allows us to work only with 5, but it's worth trying. So it's very good, and later we can upgrade ourselves. So this is one important add-on tool which I wanted to tell you. And Okay, sorry. I think is my screen visible now? Is my screen visible now? Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Meanwhile, some I think sound problem, audio problem was there.
I muted my sound. Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
So
Thank
we are looking at Doctopus. Doctopus is a tool that helps you uh, uh, to use your what do you call uh, it will help you to evaluate your assignment using. Okay. And one more thing I wanted to show you. So please make a note. There are two tools. One is Doctopus, and the other one is Gradebook. Both these tools are very useful for Google Classroom. Now just see here. I gave an assignment to my students yesterday for attendance. You can see here the attendance which I gave them. So 37 have turned in. When you click it, you can see all these students have turned in. Okay. So 37 have turned in. And whoever has turned in, I have to give them marks. So I have to provide them marks. You can see Abhirami has added turned in. So I have a turned in here. So I have a turned in here. I have a turned in here. So whatever that appears as green is my students who have turned in. Okay. So I'm giving them marks. I'm giving them 5 points because they have marked their attendance. So I'm grading the assignment right now. Assignment of my students. Now, whoever is given in what you call, now once you complete this, you can return. Okay, so when you return, they will be notified. Okay, and see, all these assignments are missing, all these are graded. Okay, so this is available, this is not available, so you can put 0. This is available, you can put 5. This is available, so I am marking the attendance of my students. So this person is not available, so I can put it as 0. This person is available, therefore it is 5. So available 5, available, 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 and available. Okay, so I will return. So my attendance part is over for yesterday's class. So this was my yesterday's class with my second year allied mathematics students. So now what I can do, I can download these grades as CSV. When I download it, my attendance for 12/8 is ready. You can see here, you can see that my attendance is ready. So my attendance is ready, and you can see whoever I have marked 0, I will put it as absent. Okay, so these students have not returned, so I will mark them as absent. So these students have not returned, so not returned, not returned, I will mark them as absent, and all others were present. So this is how you can create your own attendance for your Google Classroom by a simple question. And my attendance is ready, so I will simply save it. Now, if you want to prepare any material for your regular class, you can always use these two portal called, one portal is called BlendSpace. Now, BlendSpace is a wonderful portal where you can create your material in no time. If you want to create material using several ICT tools, this is the portal for you. See, you can see here, you can just drag and drop all the resources here, or if you want to add something from the net, you can see here, just you can see here, okay, this is a doc. Okay, so now you can add up these files. If you want to add a video, if you want to add a video link, okay, you can add. And after adding your resources, say if I want to add something from my desktop, okay, let me take and put it here in my, you can simply add it here. So creating your material is very simple. So like this, you can add many resources. You can add links, you can search in Google, you can search Google image, you can insert a web page. Okay, you can insert a web page. Say for example, if I want to insert this, okay, I will insert this web page. Okay, so simply drag and drop. So if I want to insert a link, and after you complete, if you want to add more rows, you can add more rows, and after you complete, you can simply you can check whether your file is ready. See, your material is ready in no time. See here. We have, see, these are all some catchy words: mouse, keyboard. It's a game actually, So World Wide Web. Okay. I think this is web microwave. Oh, great. Okay. So this is microphone. Okay. Chip and pin. Okay. So you can create your material in no time. Okay. So this is such a wonderful platform. The name of this platform is, as I told you, it is your Blend Space by TES. Blend Space by TES, where you can create your course. I've created one of my course here. Let me play it for you. Yes. So this is a quiz which I actually added. Then you can actually open it in a new tab if there are any websites. And this is a link which I had created to my students, and my students can see, you can share all these things in just a click of a button to your students. So you can prepare everything, and simply you can see here. I will show you. After creating this class, what you can do is you can share it. What you need to do, just click share. And you also have a sharing directly to your Google Classroom. So click your Google Classroom. All your classrooms will be loaded. I will click this, choose action, where to share. Okay, I will put it as create a material. Go. See, your Google Classroom is here, and your title is stereochemistry. Description: dear students, kindly go through this material and give your comments. And all students, under the topic study material, I will post it. Yes, I have posted it in my class. I will go to my class. So you can see here, under study material, I have a blended classroom. Okay. See here, my lesson is here from test. And if the student clicks it, he or she will see everything here. Your class can be lively, it can be created in no time, and you can simply, if the student simply clicks the play button, everything is available. And please ensure that whatever you add here is free to use material, because some materials are bound to copyright issues. So please ensure that you work on it correctly. Okay, so this is one, and the other website is go.formative.com. Go.formative. So GoFormative is another website, wonderful website, where you can create your classroom, which can have image, video, whiteboard. So if you want to have a whiteboard, you can use your whiteboard and you can draw, add something. Okay, you can write, and you can add an image. If you want to add an image, you can take an image from your desktop or from your computer. Okay, so I will take an image of mine and I'm putting it here. So my image is uploaded. Okay, so my image is uploaded here. You can see. So everything is available in this whiteboard. You can do all these things in a live class also, or you can create this separately and then you can share it to your students. So you can assign it. When you want to assign, you can sync your Google Classroom. See, it is asking for a Google Classroom sync. So all such tools are always in sync with Google Classroom. So you can simply push everything to Google Classroom in no time. So this is another important tool for content development or material that you want to prepare in Google Classroom. There are n number of material available. I will show you one more in my case. Now you can see here, you can also provide links to your students about the OER, and you can also, you can also give free books. You can add some links to your students about the free books. So these are all free books. All these links are available with me. I will share it with you. So these are the links. This document I will share it with you, so you don't have to worry. Where I have collected all the open educational resources around the world. Just click it. It will take you to that particular place. Okay, say for example, if you want to go to this. Okay, let me click this. This is called teachertube.com. Okay, you can see TeacherTube. So what will you teach today? So what do you want to teach today? Let me say I want to teach science. And there are a lot of tutorials available, and more science videos are available. So you can, and you also have a provision to upload your video inside this TeacherTube. So this is another wonderful platform where you can get a lot of videos and demos which you can share it with your students. This is an open educational resource. Okay, so I will be sharing you all these things in a short while. And don't forget to take a feedback of all your materials, because your feedback is the one that that connects ourselves with our students in this asynchronous learning platform. So today you have seen both synchronous and asynchronous platform, and as far as this Google Meet is concerned, you can see here in your, okay, so you can start your Google Meet, and you can generate a meeting link instantaneously, and you can, when you save it, it will be visible to your students. Okay, so the meeting link is saved and it will be visible to your students, and it can be sent instantaneously to your students. And I hope you all are aware of taking attendance in a Google Classroom. See here, this is my meeting, and here I'm using Chrome add-on, that is extension called attendance. You can see here, this is the Chrome extension that we use, attendance. And in this meeting, I am already having that extension. You can see that extension. So once you add that extension, what you need to do is just go to this icon. So you have to add these two extensions. Please make a note of it. One with a tick mark and one with the people standing. This particular extension in blue, again, this is a Google Meet extension. You can see here. Now this extension is created by Jake Crowley. please make a note of it. This extension is made by Jake Crowley, and this extension is very easy, very simple. If I just click it, you can see here my attendance is saved. That's it. With a click, you can save your attendance, and this particular attendance has to be saved. Again, you can see here there is an option called save attendance file. So I have saved. Now, if I open this attendance, you can see the details of all the participants who are inside this Google Meet. Okay, and their timing also. So how much time? Jayashree ma'am is there for 188 minutes. Thank you, ma'am. And Dr. Nahid ma'am is there for 100. Nandita ma'am is there for 188 minutes. And today's date is recorded. So you will get all the details about the people, how much time they are there inside this meeting, and you can record it. And if I open this, this will give you a different scenario of attendance, and this gives you a different scenario where it will tell at what time each and every person has joined and what time they left. Okay, I can see Jayashree ma'am has joined this meeting at 9:32 and she has not left yet. So once she's left, it will show at what time she has left. So like that, you can see I have so many people. It runs to nearly 1468. But for a small class, it is not a problem. But for a large group like this type of attendance will not work. But the former one which I showed you, it will always work. Okay, so I will save it. So two type of attendance are possible. You can take two type of attendance in a Google Meet. Just go to Chrome Store, type the go to the extension and type Google Meet attendance, and you can have the attendance. There is one more extension that you can add to your from Chrome Store is called DualS. Just see here. This is a extension called you can see. Now you can actually show two screens to your students. Okay, you can show two screens. See, in one screen I am presenting, and in the other screen I am showing your my Google Classroom. So this extension is called DualS, where you can show two screens simultaneously to your students. You can have your Google Meet here, and you can browse the web page here. Simultaneously, you can watch your students what they are doing, making asking them to switch on their videos. You can have the entire stuff here. Okay, so that part you can do it, and here you can take your class. Okay, using screen sharing, you can take your class here, and you can monitor your class here using this DualS. Ma'am, I think I'm done for today. If you have any doubts, you can ask me right now. We will have a short question and answer session. I still have some more, like how to record your PowerPoint, Microsoft Whiteboard, and your Squid app, which I will be doing it tomorrow. Okay, and I will teach you how to make the best content can be prepared using a PowerPoint. All my contents, all my videos in my YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. All my videos were prepared only using PowerPoint. So PowerPoint is one of the best tool which we can use to prepare our videos. And I will also help you. I will teach you how to do your videos using your Squid app. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a very informative and enlightening session. And I am sure all the participants have learned a lot. I request Jayashree ma'am to please take over.
Hello, thank you very much, sir. It was very nice indeed, and we learned so many things. There are a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
How to share videos made by us using Google Meet?
Yeah, if you have prepared a video using a Google Meet, the only option you have is you have to go to your classroom, and you have to create. Before that, what you need to do is first you have to upload your video in your Drive. So you need to go to your Google Drive, add new, click file upload. Okay, and let me say I am uploading this. So I have uploaded. I've uploaded a video in my, okay. Sorry. So then go to, go to recent. My file is here. Right click, get shareable link. Don't anyone with the link, mark it as anyone with the link and ensure that it is only for viewing. Copy link, go to your Google Classroom, create material, add link, paste, add link, title, ICT, topic, study material, post. So under study material, I have posted my video. If the student clicks it, okay, the video is getting processed. Otherwise, the video will appear here immediately. Is that clear, ma'am?
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, there are sound problems while sharing YouTube videos through Google Meet. How can we solve it?
There is always a sound problem in Google Meet, but I have solved it using a different technique. In fact, it is my own technique because many times many teachers have asked me, sir, how to solve this problem, because when they open their YouTube and when they show it to their students, the video will not be available. The sound will not be available to the students. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. Now the problem is when you use your headphones and take a class in Google Meet, both your audio and video, both your audio, you are listening to that video sound through your headphone, and you're talking with your mouthpiece, right? Now, in my desktop, what I have done is I'm using two different sources. My audio input is different and my audio output is different. You get my point?
Yes, sir. Yes.
When you use your headphones, your audio input and output are same.
So, sir, we have to use different
exactly
devices for output and different ones for input.
Right now, you were able to hear my YouTube video, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That is because my audio output is my speaker.
Yes.
And my audio input is my headphone.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, yes. And one or two questions can we take, sir? Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Yeah. Can you keep this YouTube link for the future reference? Yes, we will be keeping on our college website. And then what is the class code? Class code also shared in the participants chat box. You can enroll in that. The next question is, rubric is same for all the assignment or we have to change for every assignment?
Actually, ma'am, rubric is actually it can be structured. Okay, and it has to be structured based on the course content, and it has to be structured based on the degree. See, you cannot have the same rubric for a UG degree and a PG degree. You cannot have the same rubric for a first year and a third year. So it has to be structured in such a way that the complexity can be changed or it can be modified, increased, etc. Rubrics are nothing, ma'am. It's just instructions that you give it to your students. That's it. So you don't have to worry much about it.
The next question is how to set restrictions for the duplicate submission by the same individual. Is there any option to set our institutional mail ID as only domain?
I don't get your question, ma'am.
That the question is how to set restriction for the duplicate submission.
Okay.
Duplicate submission by the same individual.
Assignments, you mean assignments, right?
Assignments, yes, yes, yes.
Okay. See, once the student has turned in, he or she cannot turn in again in the Google Classroom. It is automatic, ma'am.
Yeah.
So only one time he or she can turn in. If he wants to do it again, he or she has to remove the old one and then submit the new one. So duplication is not possible in Google Classroom unless the student is inside the Google Classroom with two different IDs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we have done with all the questions, and if any more questions are there, they can mail directly to.
No, ma'am, they can put it in Google Classroom. They can join
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Google Classroom and ask all the questions.
yeah, class code is already shared, so they can share in the Google Classroom, and you can visit all the time, so that sir will be guiding us as a teacher in the Google Classroom.
Yes, ma'am.
And I thank you very much, sir, and for the participants. Sorry for the beginning, whatever technical problem we are having, but thank you for your cooperation and patience. Over to Nandita, madam.
Thank you, ma'am, for taking up the question answer session. So this session was awesome, informative, enlightening. I can see a lot of comments, how amazing the session was. I would like to thank all the participants for showing your enthusiasm and passion. And we really regret the inconvenience caused due to the technical glitch in the initial part of the program. We have a very young IT team which has been working very hard. And I'm very happy that they could solve the problem midway and we could continue with this awesome session. We will be meeting tomorrow, and as my coordinator was telling that we will try to meet early. We will post on the group, and you will get a mail as to if the timing is being revised. So thank you all. Thank you, sir, for the amazing session once again, and thank you, participants. We will be meeting tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Goodbye and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.